This meeting is being recorded.
And we're now being recorded. Welcome, everybody, for Wellness Wednesday, nearing the end of August. And you will notice that I am not Dr. Amy Michelle because she's on vacation. But Carrie here is sitting in with the control buttons. But we have lots going on right now, and we want to find out what you guys learned if you saw the Monday night community time program. We've got events coming up with Dr. A, et cetera, et cetera. We'll talk a little bit more at the end because today we have a special guest. And Charlotte is going to help us with some relaxation techniques. You know how we always come running into the group and probably forgot to drink our water. So if you have your water bottle handy, now is a good time. Go ahead and hydrate up. And Charlotte has a website called De-Stressy. We all want to learn some ways to get rid of stress, right? So she's got several ideas, and she's visiting us from the Tacoma, Washington area. She's been friends with Amy for what, over a year or so. And it's been a while since we've had you on. So we want to see what we can learn today. And this is going to be something, you know, beyond just taking a deep breath, but it's a specific relaxation technique. Are you going to do the progressive muscle relaxation? Go ahead and just give us a mini intro and go ahead and get started, Charlotte.
Yep, that's what I'm going to do. So thanks, Carrie and Amy, in case she listens later. Good morning, everyone. My name is Charlotte, and like she said, I'm with destressy.com, and I'm going to take you through a relaxation session. But before we begin, I don't know if you want to just take a quick thought about the stresses of the day, of the week, not to review them, but just to give that stress level a number from 1 to 10. You can remember that number, or you can jot it down if you need to. So wherever you are, try to just relax back. If you're laying down in your bed, I'm so jealous. That's the best place to do, is to lay down on the bed, on the couch. But if you're in a chair like I am, just sit back and get as comfortable as possible. And I heard you talk about deep breathing, so I didn't know if you already do that, but we're going to go ahead and practice that just for a minute. So if you want to place one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly, and when you breathe in, that is breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. And so take a deep breath into the belly. You feel it rise. And now a second breath into your chest. You feel your chest rise. And then a long exhale out, nice and slow. And so again, belly, chest, out slow. So this type of breathing is regulating your nervous system. Your brain is giving you feel-good chemicals, and taking those deep breaths, you're using your entire lungs and you are purging toxins. So it's a good idea to practice that type of breathing several times a day and really, really practice it good. You're going to continue this type of breathing throughout the exercise. So keep deep breathing. So a lot of us, we hold stress and tension in our faces. And that's where these 11s come from, the little lines right here. You know, some of you, you're squinting, these muscles, maybe you clench. Your face really holds a lot. And so we're going to give our face a little bit of love by doing a gentle massage. And so you're going to start in the middle of your forehead, and you're just going to gently, you don't stretch your skin, but you're going to gently just put your fingers across the surface. And if any of you have ever gotten a lymph massage, this is where they start. So we do work a little bit on the lymph pathways in your face. And so now move down to the eyebrow, right here in the middle of those 11s. I want you to give that a little gentle pinch. Just kind of pinch your eyebrows, pinch them, and then start back with the circles over here at your temples, little circles, and move down to the eye area. Remember, you don't want to stretch the skin, you're just giving it gentle circles. Keep breathing. Move to your cheekbone and that fatty part of your cheeks. At least mine are. Yours might not be. Give those little circles. And then right here where your jaw is going to meet at your ears, you can press a little harder along that jawbone. And this area is almost always moving and getting used. You're talking, you're eating, you might clench your teeth under stress. So it's okay to give that a little bit harder tension there. And if you're feeling any kind of lumps or discomfort, that could just be your lymph system, and it's okay to massage those a little bit more. Some of you might have dental issues, and if it hurts, don't do anything that hurts. Nice and gentle. And so now that we've gotten that lymph system moving, let's begin our muscle relaxation training. And so remember to deep breathe throughout. I'm going to have you tense up a particular muscle, and you're going to hold it until I tell you to release. So you're going to know that your release is coming because I'm going to start counting down from 5. And when I say release, it's a quick release. So if I tell you to tense up a muscle, like, practice with your hands, tense that muscle, and I say release, boom, it's a quick release. Don't do it slow. And then every time you release, you're going to do 2 deep breaths. And so we're going to start with our eyebrows. And most of us do this. Well, we're going to go up. I want you to push those eyebrows like a surprise. Hold those eyebrows up, up, up. Keep breathing. Hold the eyebrows up. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Deep breath, belly, chest. Out slowly. Another breath, belly, chest, and out slow. And now we're going to do our eyes. And you're going to really squeeze those eyes together. They're going to be completely closed. Squeeze them really tight. And while you have your eyes closed, don't open them. I want you to look to the left and then look to the right. Just your eyeballs moving. Left, right, up, down, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Deep breath. And slow out. And another breath in. And slow out. And now we're going to do our mouth. And so I want you to, as realistic as you can, I want a nice big yawn. This is realistic as you can make that yawn. Yawn, yawn, yawn. And now bring that yawn to a big cheeky smile. Just big cheeks, and hold that. Hold the big smile. Feels good. Smile, smile. Nice and tight. And now while you have that nice tight smile, you're going to hold it for a little bit. I want you to take your fingers and try and massage down those eyebrows, because you've already got your eyebrows not tensed anymore. So you're going to massage them just a little. And then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Deep breath. Another breath. Belly, chest, and slow out. And now your fingers again, right here on that jaw, right there on both sides. And I want you to push it. So you're not trying to cause any pain. If you have shooting pain up your head, down your neck, I want you to back off. But push on that jaw with a little bit of strength. Because that muscle gets used a lot. And go ahead and hold that pressed in. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Deep breath, belly, chest, and then out through your mouth. And then one more, belly, chest, and slow breath out. And now our next one is a transition. We're going to transition from the face to the neck. And you're going to put your upper lip kind of into your teeth, but not bite. And then you're going to be left with this lower lip just hanging there. And I want you to push that, don't laughing, push that upper lip to the corner of your ceiling. You're going to feel that down through your jaw, down your neck, and then of course on your lip. Upper lip, lower lip up. Point it. Use that muscle. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Deep breath. Another deep breath. And now we're transitioning to that shoulder neck area. And this is what I call the turtle. You're going to bring your shoulders up real high. And you're going to kind of squeeze your shoulders together. And at the same time, try and lower your neck just a little, like you're a little turtle and you're trying to get back into that shell. Now squeeze those shoulders. And we're going to hold this one for a little bit. This is a big muscle that really feels good when you release. We're going to hold it really tight. Breathe. Keep breathing. Keep squeezing tight. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Ooh, I love that one. I do that one multiple times a day.
Yeah.
Deep breaths. More. Okay, and now you're going to turn your head to the right. You're going to keep this shoulder relaxed. Bring your chin down to the collarbone. Keep the shoulder relaxed, but squeeze the chin onto that bone if you can, and hold that. Keep the shoulder relaxed. Keep breathing. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. You can give it a little wiggle if you need to. And now we're going to look to the left. Keep the shoulder relaxed. Bring your head down, chin to the collarbone, and squeeze. Keep breathing. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. 2 deep breaths. So as we finish up the exercise, I want you to use your fingers to grab hold of the shoulder, neck, and just give your neck and shoulders a good pull and squeeze. Rotate your head. Just really give that muscle some love, some squeezing. And take a second to check back in to those stress levels that you had on your scale from 1 to 10. And I hope that you are more relaxed, and I hope you feel better. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I didn't even remember what planet I was on. Ooh. Is it nap time now? Stresses of the day. What's that? Oh, that was great. Thank you so much, Charlotte. So we can look for you on doyoustressy.com and see what other wonderful things you got going on there. Appreciate that so much. Anybody thoughts, comments? How do you feel?
That was really good. Really, really good. I hope I don't forget steps.
And it's probably not too critical each. It's not a specific order necessarily, Charlotte, is it? Or
It is progressive. So it
Mhm.
is starting either at your feet or your head and progressively going through the body. But you know what? If you forget one, come back and do it. But what I like to do too in the class is everybody just kind of, where do you hold those stresses? And some people hold them in their gut, they hold them in their hips. And it's amazing how many places that we can actually hold our stress. And then those are the muscles you want to do every day. I do the face every day, face, neck,
Mm.
shoulders every day. That's
and that works perfect on Zoom. Do you do mostly in person or online classes?
I do some businesses if they want me to, the local ones want me to come in. I do,
Where
I
you
do
actually go
businesses,
in?
but yeah,
Mhm.
everything is on Zoom. So, and you can choose to be
Nice.
on or off camera. You know,
And you do
yeah, we look
mostly
kind of funny
individual
sometimes
or
doing our
group?
exercises. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah,
And you do mostly individual or group?
both. I have private for those, and then group just like this. So
Wonderful.
yeah,
That's great.
thank
Oh,
you.
what do we got
That
there?
lady
Oh,
looks,
that's my website.
yeah, just had to
I
check
guess
it
the
out
link
while
worked.
you posted it there. That looks very nice. That lady looks relaxed.
Yeah. So now we know the link works. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
And welcome, Candace. Well,
All
thank
right.
you so much, Charlotte. And if you can, we'd love to have you again next week.
I
And
can come next week.
And we'll see you then. I know you gotta get going, so thank
do.
you. But if you want to stick around, we've got all kinds of good info that we're sharing on health stuff.
I know. I
So
wish I could. Maybe you'll send me a recording since I'm in it. I don't know.
there you go. I
Thank
think
you
we
all.
can
Have a
manage
great
that.
day.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, don't go the rest of you. We're still here. We got lots to talk about. So first off, who was on or who saw the recording of the Monday night community time?
I did.
Yay, Betty. Were you able to get back in, Betty, and see the rest of it? I know you caught the
Yes, I
end.
did.
Awesome.
Yes,
I
I
know you
did.
caught the end of it on Monday. So we're going to
And
go with Sharon first because she said she had to leave a little bit early just in case.
Okay.
And she had a point she wanted to share from the book also. So let's see what you got for your notes, Sharon. Just go ahead and what you got
Yeah,
from the
one-
book. That'd be great.
One of the first speakers definitely talks about your why. And so I was just going to read just a little paragraph from element 1. Your why is your intrinsic motivation and your highest stimulus for change. It drives you into action because it's what you want to do. It inspires you to grow and be better. And when you're doing something that inspires, you want to share your desire with others and increase your level of engagement. It creates a whatever it takes mindset and becomes a powerful ally in your path to success. So our why is, we have to start with our why. Why we want to be healthy. Couple other notes. She talked about the mason jar story, and I don't know if you've all heard that, but that is an element 1 also. And deciding what your big rocks are.
Yeah.
And second couple, progress, not perfection. And your model day starts with the model night. So they really talked about structure and routine to on a daily basis to get you consistent, but developing that a model night, and so that in the morning there's a model morning. You develop a model morning also to get your day started on the right foot positively. And you do something, just do something and get 1% better every day. Well, it's the little steps that we talk about all the time. Start with little steps.
So those were definitely the highlights. I like that. Do one
Yeah.
of the things, because we can't do all of the 1% every day, but at least pick one of them. Because one step is better than none.
Yes.
And
So I like that.
get that, I guess I want to say, as close to perfection as you can. So it becomes a conscious, what do they call it? Conscious.
Yeah, at first you're consciously making the decision to do it, but when it's a habit, then you're just unconsciously doing it.
You're unconsciously doing it.
I think he even gave the example of the seatbelt. How many of you have to think, oh, I'm getting in the car, I better put my seatbelt on? Or how many of you just automatically reach for it?
Yeah.
You automatically reach for it, Betty?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Then it's a habit. So it's
Yeah.
unconsciously competent is
Yeah.
the chart they gave there. And I think that's in element 5, they said. But that's a really good one. I love that, how you said that, Sharon, till it's perfect or until it becomes a habit. And when we have our morning routine, our model morning, it takes a lot of stress off the day, because when it becomes a habit, you don't have to think about what do I have to do next? You know, do I have to shower? Do I have to brush my teeth? What do I have to eat? Do I need a fueling? If we just automatically go to those, you know, in whatever order is best for you, whatever time of day. Oh, and then they have the time of day things. 4 a.m., not me. 5 a.m., no sorry, Bob. I am still got my earplugs in so I don't hear the roosters. But that works for a lot of people.
Yes. Yes.
So what about you, Sharon? Are you a early bird morning person or?
Yep. I like to start my morning, not 4 or 5, that for sure, 6.
6 is good.
6 is plenty early.
And with the fluctuation of, you know, when the sunrise is, I mean, there's a lot of variance throughout the year, and
Yeah.
that's going to affect our
Yeah.
mood and our routine somewhat. And what about everybody here in general? Do you feel like summer is like rush, chaos, and doing things and out of schedule? Like September is back to school, back to schedule. Do you guys kind of have that feeling, or are you guys on different rotations, different schedules by now? Anyone have a thought on that?
Being retired, of course, it's the year round is kind of a year round thing. I'm not totally retired because I have a child that I tutor, and so he comes in and I'm working with him. And but yeah, and there's certain things, but I'm trying to get back into that a little better routine, just because I think I'll feel better about myself, and that. And my husband says I work all the time, and yet to me I feel like I'm wishy-washy, that I'm oh, I better go put my feet up now, you know. I just feel like that. And so but it's not the same when I was teaching, as summers were off and fun, and then September, and you know, you're back to the bell stroke, you know, when the second hand comes to the top, oh, there you start your day, and
Yeah, by the clock.
yes, yeah. So
Yeah, so you were a teacher for how many years?
a little over 20. I stayed home with 5 kids for a long time, and then I went back to school, and then I taught, and I moved from Minnesota to California, was a bilingual teacher and a ESL teacher, English as a second language, and worked with little kids that way. And then my daughter had twins when I retired, and I came back here and worked with them the first 5 years of their lives. And then the Rottens, you know what they do? They grow up and they go to school and they leave you behind.
Yes, they do.
How dare they?
How dare they?
But
I was just gonna say, if it's not the routine of kids and school, then maybe
Yeah.
it's grandkids.
Yes. And so now I'm involved with grandkids, and now the neighborhood kids who call me grandma too, and I work with them. So yeah, but it keeps me. I like to think that it keeps me off the streets and behaving myself. So
Yes, Betty, we gotta keep an eye on you, I think.
yeah, I know. I know.
So that kind of goes back to what are our, the mason jar. Everybody has the visualization of that. So if you have a pen and pencil handy, or even electronic, what are your top 3 priorities? What are your big stable rocks? Like, if I don't have that in my jar first, I'm gonna regret it. I'm not gonna feel right. Obviously, there can be more, but if you had 3, what are the 3 most important things, like everyday important?
Hmm.
And you
Mine,
just really feel them like they're your rock. Yeah, go ahead and share one or two of them.
well, I need to start my day right away with my medicine, because you have to take it and you can't eat or drink anything for a half an hour. And so if I fool around and don't get to my medicine, it's going to always be a half an hour later. So you get up and you take that. And then, so that's one thing that has to be done first thing in the morning.
Good. That's rock solid in your routine. And that's one
Yes.
thing. Mine isn't medicine. My life doesn't depend on it. But I have noticed, like, even through pandemic and other illnesses and whatever, I mean, I didn't get COVID, but I always take my supplements. That's like the
Yes.
first thing
Yeah.
I do in the morning. So that's like a rock for me.
Yes.
Good one. Anyone else? What's a rock for you? What's something in your day? Maybe it's the first thing, or maybe it's sometime during the day. Like, if you don't do it, you're just feeling off.
Yeah.
Anyone else have one they want to share? Go ahead, open mic here. Oh, here we go, Kathy. Let's unmute. Yeah,
Unmute. Yeah, there you go. Go ahead.
Exercise. I
And
like
what-
to do
and what-
I like to do that, especially like when it's hot, with these 100-degree days, to do that early in the morning. And in winter, then I go to the Y, but I prefer to be outside and, do my walking around the neighborhood, or I also walk with another friend, and she likes to walk the track at school, which is good during the summer, but now the kids are back in school. So sometimes the track has got activities going on, so we can't go there all the time, but exercise would be mine.
Excellent. So anyone else feel like some type of movement exercise is in their daily routine? And Kathy, do you do that? Is that like you got to do it first thing in the morning, get the juices flowing?
I usually do. Not now. Some mornings, I've got things planned and then it doesn't work out, but then I'll do it, later in the day, or I'll have to do it, at night when the sun is, kind of peeking down. But I try to do it in the morning. That makes me feel the best to start my day.
Awesome. So medicine is like a rock, exercise, movement, that's like a rock. Anyone else?
I like to start with hydration right away.
Yes.
Glass
Yes.
of water right away. Because I've always
Good
said,
one.
well, been without for how many hours sleeping. So, and
Yes.
then
Very
that
good.
starts my habit of knowing, okay, I got this much down already, but this is what I gotta go. So starting with hydration, and then exercise, and doing some sort of positive inspiration reading.
Awesome.
Mhm.
So isn't that neat though, how one thing then triggers the other good habits. So take a note of that too, because if you forget your rock, the others will easily slip away as well. So how about anybody else? Candace or Margo, what's your rock, your most important thing?
I typically start the night before with creating my schedule for the next day. So I know what I have to do. And, if it's the little things like, oh, got to go to Target, have a doctor's appointment, whatever, because I always want to fit in time. My standard day is when I first wake up. I typically meditate for about 15 or 20 minutes. And then I get up and shower and dress and all that good stuff. And weather permitting, I'll go for a walk. And then when I go for a walk, after I come back, I have what I call my people contact time. And that is several months ago, I came to realize that I have an amazing amount of people in my life that I had lost touch with and wanted to know how they were, what they were doing, what about their families. And of course, a lot of this came after having personal loss. And so I decided, okay, I made a list of what I consider the most important people in my life. And in that half hour, every day, I take 30 minutes where I'm on the computer or texting or whatever, just checking in, saying hello. If we can chat, that's great. And do that. And then from that point, the rest of my day depends on what I scheduled the night before.
Mhm.
So like I
Excellent.
say, it could be a doctor's appointment, it could be working with clients, any number of things. But those things I try and do first thing and get out of the way.
Good. And so what
No,
I'm
I-
hearing from that is those are the pebbles that go into your calendar, and it might not be the same every day, but you have
Oh,
people
right.
time.
And
Yeah,
that's
I
why
like that.
I make my list the night before. If I
Mhm.
don't make that list the night before,
Yeah.
my entire next day is totally
Shot.
discombobulated. It's like, what do I have to do now? You know,
Yep.
but as long as I can always move the schedule, adjust it, whatever, but at least I've got a basic map for what my day is going to look like.
Yeah, I like that. And then the name might change who you're in contact with, but you have your people time, you have connection. So
Right.
connection is another rock for human existence, really. So, and that's a very positive, active way of reaching out to people. I love it. That's really
Well,
great.
and it's been so incredible because so many of them have come back and gone, oh my God, I can't believe how we've lost touch.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it became even more apparent when we didn't know if my girlfriend in Hawaii was alive or not.
I
And
was just gonna
all of
say,
it was like several of us that knew her, that used to always do things with her. All of a sudden, we were all coming out of the woodwork, and we were even saying in our text to each other, like, "How have we let this get away from us?" And it was Lindy's tragedy that brought us all back together again.
yeah,
So bizarre. And I don't want that to be the case moving forward.
right.
Mhm.
I don't want to be reaching out because I have sad news or scary news. I just want to reach out because I want to know how you are.
I love it.
Is she okay?
Well, we don't know. She still can't. They aren't letting any of the residents back into the Lahaina area. So she still doesn't know if her home is there or not.
Yeah.
And her boyfriend is still one of the missing 388 people. And knowing him as she does, she just thinks she's praying he's out camping out in the woods somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah,
until
like she
things
was
calm
for the
down.
first.
And yeah, they're hoping this week now they're starting to get more connection with the phones and the cell towers and that. So once that comes into play, she'll have a lot more freedom on finding out what's going on and how it's going on. But
Yeah, and now you're already in touch with her because you took the initiative to make those
Okay.
connections again.
yeah,
Yeah, I was just gonna ask how is the update on her. So
Yeah.
thank you for that.
the amazing thing to me, and I don't know how many of you have ever been to Hawaii or been to Maui, but or if you know what a banyan tree is.
Yeah.
A banyan tree is this massive tree with all kinds of, the roots are pretty much external. They do go deep into the ground, but they're pretty much above ground. And Lahaina has been known for years and years and years for having the largest banyan tree in the country
world.
and several countries. And it takes up, I think, 1.5 acres.
Yeah.
And it's one tree, but with several root bases. And when you look at the destruction, the tree we're hoping was saved. It got scorched somewhat in some areas, but you get everything burnt around it completely. And here stands this tree.
But
And the other one was a little Catholic church that is standing there as pristine as can be. Like there not any soot or scorching or anything on it. There it sits like nothing ever happened.
Wow.
So the good Lord works in mysterious ways.
Yeah,
Truly.
good symbol of life and survival, the tree
Yeah.
itself. So yeah,
Yeah,
one of the
yeah.
largest living objects is that particular banyan tree.
And I think it gives them hope.
Yeah. Oh, sure. It really is the symbol of Hawaii, Lahaina, that area.
Yeah, yeah. So, but I'll keep you updated as it goes. When I get great news from
Yes.
her, I will share it.
We will look forward to it. So yes, those are our rocks. The things that just make our day possible, that hold us together. And then we put in the pebbles and the sand, and we have control over each one of those. That's what's interesting. And which order. So keeping our priorities. And that's a lot of our stop, challenge, and choose. So think, what is most important? And like Sharon said, get back to your why. Why are these rocks important? Why do I need this stability, this structure in my life? And why am I doing what I'm doing? And those were some of the highlights, but Betty, did you have more notes, or you can repeat the same ones if that's what you've got?
yeah,
Just go ahead.
I really like the one Sharon brought up, some good ones. The one that really impressed me was that she had said she makes a tape of music, and when she plays that in the morning, it triggers her. I'm laying here, I don't want to get out of bed, and she hears the music. She gets up, automatically puts her gym clothes on, and moves on and goes to do her exercises or her walking. She likes to do, if the weather's nice, go out and walk too. That one really impressed me, because that's how you want to be with a lot of things, is to say, oh, it's this time, and you just, like you say, you reach in, you grab your buckle, and you click it in before you do anything else. Then you close the door. And I
We
thought that
really
was
are.
really
We
good.
really are like Pavlov's dogs. We hear the bell and we want to eat. And Betty hears the bell and she wants to get up and teach class. And
Yes, I'm salivating. Yes,
But
yes.
that's it. So that's great. Cue up the music. What is going to get you motivated to do your
And
morning routine, or
yeah,
whatever
because
it
it
is that
just,
comes
yeah,
next?
it's,
Mhm.
oh, here's the morning. What was it? Uh, Godfrey author or something like that. He had I remember as a little kid hearing March Around the Breakfast Table. My grandma would listen to that. And it was just, he played that early in the morning, and I think he had a banjo or ukulele. He had a ukulele, and they would march around the breakfast. Quite where that
Yeah,
came
and
from, I don't know, but
but you can't not think of that when you hear that tune, right?
yeah, yes,
Yeah.
or something. So that's fun. That was the one thing that I really liked. And they said the variety was the spice of life, but you also need the structure. So you want a variety to enrich your life, but you also want that structure to go on. And I think there was those are a couple of things, but that one I really did. And I like what he said, write it down. And so several of you mentioned that too. Go through the night before and write it down, and have it ready for you for the next day. that would help a lot. And sort of your lesson plan for the next day. So that was a great one. And that's there, but there was a lot of yeah, they were very early morning. I'm an early morning person, but I'm also an insomniac, so I get up and then yeah. And so I'm up early and now I'm trying to get back into, I would just do what I wanted to, but now I'm trying to get more structured so that I can do that too, that I get up and just get 1, 2, 3 things done before my husband gets up in the morning, just get a couple things done. So let's see. And the cell phones. Now to me, that seems normal, put your cell phone away.
Yeah.
I'm in a restaurant. I don't take my cell phone out. I look over, I see little kids under the table, over the table, behind the table, crawling into the ones on, and here's mama.
Yeah.
And so it's so nice when you see someone there talking with their kids or whatever. So
Actual human interaction.
yes,
Such a novelty.
and so I like that. And this is my cell phone, and you know what? No, it's just spam. So bad spam. So, but
And look at that. Stop challenge shoes, and she made a conscious decision.
Yeah.
Ignore that distraction.
I do. I don't answer. I don't give them the satisfaction of knowing I'm here. That lady's never home. So,
And just talking about
but yeah. So those are a couple of the things that I really, really liked. But the idea is you want, and then they wrote down, I wrote down, and I want to go back, and I haven't had a chance yet, but to go to different elements or different pages, and I like to go back and do those. So
okay, bye Sharon. She said Jen
Bye,
had out early,
Sharon.
so
Hi, Sharon.
thanks for sticking with us.
Betty, what you said about the texting and the phones at the table in the restaurant and that, I've seen that so much. And to me, if you're with other people, it's so disrespectful to have your phone out and to think that what's coming in on that phone is more important than what's going on at that table. Years ago,
Yes.
you couldn't do that. Your phone was at home.
Right.
There was
Yeah.
Landline.
And what really gets me is if you've got a large group, even at the table, they'll text each other at the table.
Yeah.
And I've gotten to a point where
Thank
I've
you.
gotten really bold, and I will literally, when I'm talking to my friends and we're setting up a lunch date or whatever, and I go, I can't wait to see you. However, I have one request. That
Yeah.
everybody leaves their phone in their purses, their pockets, or whatever. That if we're getting together, let's get together.
Yeah,
Yes.
really
Yeah,
turn
I
off the
could.
buzzing
Have a
for 1 hour.
conversation. I know. And parents are taught, even parents are on doing their thing while their kids are doing their thing.
Yeah.
Sitting at the table is a wonderful time to communicate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
be present.
Talk about the day or what you want or whatever. And here they are with that telephone. Drives me crazy.
Yes, I know. And what scares me is I've gone down the road. You'll see moms walking home. They may have a baby in a push cart, 2 or 3 little ones, 3, 4, 5 years old. They're skipping, they're doing this and that. But mom's on the phone, and I slow way down because I don't trust those little ones, not for a second, to dart out in front of me. And
Yeah.
so,
And her reaction time is going to be that much more delayed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So, and it's like how Dr. A says, most people are walking around not even conscious of what's going on in their life. They're just going through the motions. They're just barely getting through each.
If I'm on my phone, I'm not paying attention to what I'm eating. If that's the same person, no, but it's another one. It's another one that's just off and off. Isn't that terrible? One calls
They
and then
got your
15
number.
of them. Yeah.
It's so sad that today's young people really don't know any difference. They didn't live, and some of you are probably too young to have gone through it, but in the time where, I grew up with a rotary phone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it was years before all of a sudden, oh my gosh, you got this thing called an answering machine on your phone, but you still didn't get those calls till you got home from whatever you were doing.
Yeah.
You
Right.
weren't doing it out in the public, whatever, even when phones first came in to play, they were strictly being used as phones. You weren't texting and all of this other stuff. But again, the kids today don't know any different. They didn't experience anything different. So they think it's okay. And they don't realize how much they're missing. They don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to socialize if they don't have their phones.
And that's where we can come in, as being examples of all the happy health habits. They're going to see us doing it, kids, grandkids, cousins, neighbors, friends, whatever. But we are promoting the healthy lifestyle by living it.
Yeah.
And sometimes, Marco, we just have to come out and say it because they aren't going to get the subtleties. So, and that goes with every aspect of our lifestyle. So I was just thinking of that for a lot of, you got the long weekend coming up, and don't know if you guys have travel plans, or are you guys like, oh, what am I going to do if I'm with people and everybody's eating stuff? What am I going to do? Are you anxious of holidays that come up? Do you foresee learning moments? And we can go through a few steps right now. Stop, challenge, and choose to plan for your long weekend. Does anybody have travel plans or barbecues or get-togethers or?
No,
Okay.
I just,
A nice quiet weekend.
Okay, me too. It's like normal quiet, but this is something important. A lot of times, here we come in and we talk about, what went wrong. Well, let's anticipate. What do you foresee and what do you want to happen? And how can you plan now for that? For example, Amy's on vacation, and one of her last posts was her husband wants healthy food. So she packed the whole suitcase full of feelings. And then as you eat the feelings, then you can buy souvenirs and fill the suitcase back up. But see, that's the planning ahead.
yeah.
And this is just one example. The long weekend coming up is usually a common one for everybody. But there's something every month or every other week. So that's why we come here together in our little community group too, to discuss what happened, but also what might happen. And hey, how have you guys handled it? What could I do? And then you can make that's the challenge in your stop challenge. And then you can choose your healthy decision. But by the fact that for a lot of you, either not a lot going on or not the fear of it, shows that you've already got the healthy habits in place. See, it's not so scary. Yeah, Candace, go ahead. Jump in, cut me off.
I was going to say, I don't have anything going on this weekend, but I have slept for the last week pretty much solid. Just sleep, and wake up and think I need more sleep. And what I wasn't realizing when I was in Iowa, there's a mark on my calendar for when ragweed season begins. And I wasn't counting on that here. And I'm like, oh, that's it. So now I need to work in an antihistamine every day so that I can do it. But what I love is this has really helped me to identify my 7 most important things to do each day. And I found ways to bundle them together, like hydration. Now I need to remember to take my probiotic, my thyroid medicine. And I just started a probiotic yesterday because my stomach's been just horrible, probably with stress and things. But I finally found one, and travel. And I finally found one that I think is going to be okay. I let someone else do the research and said, hey, I'm going to try that too. And then I like the idea of music in the morning, and then I can do with stretching. It makes all the difference with my fibromyalgia. And then any kind of
with my worship, like if I'm reading my Bible or doing whatever, I can also be doing some of the things that Charlotte teaches, the calming. And also if any kind of drama comes up when I'm communicating with my friends, because I have a friend with a brain tumor right now, and it's on the brain stem, which is the worst place because the brain stem controls the whole body. So I felt like I'm in a lot of drama. And for me, every time there's drama, it throws everything off. My eating gets off, my schedule gets off, my everything. And I start to react rather than to calmly act. So I'm like, okay, I wrote down, is there drama? Then the first thing I do is just start to do my calming and then decide what I can do from there. So for me, it's not so much a holiday or being around people right now. It's just gaining control of the most important things when I have less energy, because it's not like I'm sneezing and coughing. My eyes are itchy, but the way it affects me most of the time is it just lays me low that I could just sleep for days.
fatigue.
So yeah.
And that's
so this is
listening to your
helpful.
body. So
Right. It
rest
is.
when you
Yeah.
need it, but what is it telling me?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
same with the fuelings, having them scheduled in. When you miss one,
Yes.
it's like, why am I off? Oh yeah, I haven't had my fueling.
Right.
I
And
got
the
2 of them
feelings have
here
been
right now.
really
I'm
helpful.
loaded up.
Yeah, the feelings have really helped me when I haven't felt enough energy to cook. That's nice to have those to rely on too.
Absolutely.
Well,
Those
and
were some
Candace, you
excellent
talked
points.
about how things interfere with your plan, so to speak. And
Yeah.
I think what I went through that 10 days that we didn't know about Lindy.
Yes.
Knowing.
And not having, I couldn't like walk out the door and go to next door and say, what have you heard? What have you heard? I mean, it wasn't that. It was so disjointed. And
Right.
so much of what went on in my mind was centered around that. No
Yeah.
matter what else I had
yeah.
planned, it was always looking for the text, checking on Facebook, waiting for the phone call. And I realized how consumed I got by that.
Mhm.
And I thought, I can't do this, because if she has a problem, I knew that in my heart of hearts, I knew she would be found. But
Mhm.
if she had problems or needed us, I needed to be clear to do whatever
Yeah.
I could to help, even though I'm 5,000 miles away.
Yeah.
And I wasn't clear about anything during those 10 days.
Yeah. It's
And
true.
Oh yeah.
it taught
does.
me that
It takes it hijacks
like
all
you.
your whole mind. Absolutely.
Yeah, I can't let things like that distract me in that
Right.
way that takes me away from the other things that are really important.
Yeah.
Because those are
Yeah.
the things that keep me on track with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's a good
they're
word.
never-
Hijack is a good word.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
and that's exactly how it feels. And that's why we say, well, life happens, because
Mm-hmm.
there's
Yeah.
never gonna be, oh, we're perfectly calm. My routine is just this. Well, that's
Right.
why we need our rocks. They
Yeah.
go with us whenever, wherever. They get our
Yeah.
day going. And I find that if I don't start my day for me, have my quiet time, then it's, what does my husband need? What does my sister need? What does my boss need? Amy Michelle, she's like, did you do this? Did you do that? But it's work. And
Yeah.
and other things going on. And then I realize, it's nighttime and I haven't done me stuff. So if I don't do it right away, then my day doesn't belong to me. So,
Right.
and I'm doing, like you said too, Candace, throughout the day, I'm learning to take those pause moments. And like, I love what, Candace shows us, or Amy Michelle reminds us to breathe, or Dr. A says, catch your breath and take a drink. It takes 1 second, but you're helping calm your nervous system
Yeah.
and keep your water in your dominant hand.
Yeah.
Yes.
So all those little things, those are our, extra 1%, the one thing we can do. There's a million of them, but
Mhm.
we find which ones are our rocks.
Yeah.
That's what's going to keep us stable and steady and
Yeah.
moving. And our why is what's going to keep us moving forward. And, we would love to sit around and chat all day, but look at that. Time is up.
Yeah.
I
And
know.
I had a whole bunch of announcements, but we'll probably get them mostly in writing. But basically, we'll see you guys here again next Wednesday, same old.
Yes.
But
Yes.
next Monday, there is not a community time.
Oh.
For Labor
Okay.
Day, they are taking it off.
Oh, yeah.
But there
Okay.
are the recordings to all of them if you feel like, oh, I need my extra boost, and you can get that. So next Wednesday, we're going to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about, because there's not going to be a Monday topic, right? So there's also Dr. A on Tuesday. First Tuesday of the month. So Monday night, no, but Tuesday morning, yes.
Yes, okay.
And I believe that's 11 a.m. Central Time because he goes noon Eastern. So Dr. A on Tuesday, and if you catch him live, then we can discuss what he had to say on Wednesday also. So if you can catch him live, because his recording isn't usually available until a couple of days later. So, I mean, unless there's a Facebook live streaming, I'll try to put all those links in for the Monday and Tuesday reminder so you can see that. But then there's also that leadership thing coming up. Margot, it went out to coaches
On the 9th?
first, but
On the 9th,
yeah, that's it.
from 11 to 4.
Yeah, 11 to 4. And that one is $30, but you're getting Dan Bell and Dr. A, and it's like a 4-hour program. And you would pay $300 to see one of them for an hour, if you did
Yeah.
an in-person live. And they're doing it virtual. So anybody and everybody's invited. There's going to be a coach segment, but non-coaches, anybody, clients, perspective, anybody, so that's coming up in September. So some things that are coming up. But we will see you guys all same time, same place next Wednesday.
Everybody
Okay.
have a good week.
All
Yeah,
our wellness buddies, big hug.
Yeah.
Stay well.
Bye-bye.
Yes.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Roxy.
Thanks, Rex. And keep moving on your movement challenge, active.
Yes. Massage, massage, massage.